tend to favor this one a lot. But here we go. Spawning in the top right of Orbital Shipyard, we have got our yellow Terran. It is Gravity Semper.
And in the bottom left corner of Orbital Shipyard, from Rival Gaming, we have Caleb.
So, Caleb apparently has still a few tricks up his sleeve from what I was reading in chat. I wonder if he's just gonna play the macro game out, or if we'll see some of those tricks. I wonder if we'll also
I'm
see
expecting some form of cheese.
Yeah, I almost want to see some. I want to see, you know, so a little bit of cheesy Zerg play. I'll admit, it can be fun to watch sometimes. But Semper looking like he's opening up, at least, you know, pretty normal in this game as well. We've got another quick second hatchery there from Caleb, so nothing pull first. Going for more of an economic opening.
So there's the hatch gas pool. So it's a 1717, pretty standard stuff.
Yep, again, standard play, kind of like before. We'll probably see... Oh, we do have a reactor taken on that barracks, so not necessarily the Reaper opening we had the last time, but we'll still, you know, have a quick expand there from Semper as well.
He'll be putting in 2 Marines at a time once that finishes.
Yeah. So pretty standard macro openers, again, from both players. Nothing too crazy. For sure, speed will start right when Caleb has 100 gas. And then we'll see what he goes into.
Kind of hoping to see something crazy from him.
Yeah.
I've heard that he has a bit of a reputation as a cheesy player. And his cheese can be fun to watch sometimes. So.
I agree. I was hoping to see some interesting little Zerg builds, but we know that Caleb is actually pretty good when it comes to the macro game too, especially if he has time to get ultras. Do you think that Semper might want to be a little bit more aggressive to delay that late game as much as possible?
Yes, I definitely think that we're going to see some form of early aggression, whether it be a Hellbat push or just even including a Banshee or faster Liberators with his Hellion push, just to try and delay or prevent Cable.
Yeah.
Caleb, that's the one. the lack of sleep is slowly catching up to me. But to be able to try and prevent him from reaching a point where he has the absolutely crazy overpowered Ultralisks.
Yeah, because once that happens, it seems very, very difficult to stop. These two Reapers, though, they're getting a little bit of damage. They have picked off a Ling. They have forced a drone to transform, at least in the meantime. So the Reaper is doing a pretty decent job, and I believe, yes, more are on the way, so Semper, he is definitely getting a little bit more aggressive here, realizing he cannot just let Caleb sit. These Reapers getting a little bit done, the Queen getting low on health, however there are more Queens joining. And it looks like with all these Queens now, these Reapers should be shut down a little bit easily, however grenades can still kind of throw a wrench in things. We've got this followed up, though, with Mutalisks. However, Semper, you know, he didn't... I don't think the worry really is harassment with those Mutalisks as it is taking out key units like Liberators.
Yeah, I really wasn't expecting this from Semper. It seems like with Ling speed on the field, this entire attack is going to be deflected. And it's just sort of a bit of an overcommitment at this point. He's already dropped 250 into gas, but he could have been playing into getting an earlier starport or pretty much anything. Feels like it would have been a better option.
Yeah, and now with 2 spines, these Reapers aren't going to get much done. In fact, I don't even know if they can really get any good scouting off. They aren't going to see that spire. So, you know, unless they're very lucky, they won't see the spire.
Oh no, that's tucked all the way into the back of the second base.
Yeah.
Now
Oh, but a nice scan does catch it.
Perfect. Once you're at the point where your opponent has not even tried for a third yet, you know that they have to be going for some form of heavy tech.
Yeah. And I'm sure Semper was thinking, hey, if there's no third, what should I be worrying about?
And a baneling nest is also on the way now.
Do you think that Semper may have, may have had a little bit of a, I wouldn't say a victory, but do you think he's caused a little bit of damage here to Caleb by preventing him from expanding at this point?
Not really. As far as I can tell, Caleb didn't even send a drone to take a third. The entire purpose of the two-base muta is to get mutas out early enough that you can safely expand while having the Terran running back and forth trying to hold off your aggression.
No, we do just now have that expand. It looks like you basically called that, very well. The two-base muta, it allows Caleb to expand, and at the same time, probably forces Semper, might have forced Semper back home, but he's actually moving over, so I'm sure Caleb has got the eye more on defense here.
Now, I would not be surprised if we see Semper elevate his Marines up into this base. Or even just poking through a wall, he can pick off some queens, and once the transfuses are gone, then this is a lot less scary.
Yeah, the medevacs, though, one of them is getting very low. Needs to be careful. Now it looks like, the mutas will probably be able to pick off a medevac if Semper's not careful with it. It does boost forward. Does manage to survive. Nice control there from Semper. And Semper's continuing to move forward. I'm not sure. Do you think this is actually an all-in? We do have a command center being built behind this, but, it's pretty late and there is no third base yet. The Marines, though, more Marines moving out. We've got a Liberator with this, too.
Now, Semper does have his third CC coming down, and he is also starting to produce Widow Mines, which is an absolutely necessity against...
and this drop is going to get the Spire. It is so close to getting the Spire, but the Spire, it barely hangs on. Wow, that was close.
That is absolutely horrible luck. But at the same time, he is pushing in the front door as well. He took out the spines. He isn't going to get any creep cleared, but yeah, that's wise of him to back off. Even his medevac energy is getting pretty low, so it's really hard to keep up with the stims on his Marines right now.
Semper, he is expanding, however, the Overseer there for Caleb did catch that, so he knows his opponent has just laid down his third command center. Caleb moving out, though. Semper, is he also moving forward? I think he realizes what's going on now. He might head home with that hit squad he has down by Caleb, but Caleb, his army is just so scary looking at the moment.
Direct connection on half of the Mutalisks there.
It was a very good Widow Mine hit. Caleb... He's got a pretty scary force. There are more Widow Mines, though, up the ramp. Caleb needs to be really careful. Ooh.
Those were really fortunate connections for Caleb. But everything is going to be cleaned up now. The Banelings do not have time to come in. Fantastic focus fire coming from Semper to pick off the Banelings first. And this game has turned around completely.
Yeah, Semper now ahead, 55 army supply to 30, and I think, he realizes, I gotta move now, my opponent is weak. Caleb is morphing in some Banelings, however, Semper, he's got pretty good micro, I'm sure he could split around those, no problem.
Semper does have fantastic micro, he's got quite a few Widow Mines, and he also has his 1-1 already. The Zerg player is only halfway done to their 1-1, and really all he has on the field right now are Lings, and a handful of Banelings, maybe 10 to 15 Banelings. Even the muta count. There are 4 mutas currently on the field, and that is not enough to be scary for anything.
Exactly. Some nice pickups there. Ooh, does get a medevac though with the mutas, but Semper, he's still looking alright. He is trying to drop, but Caleb did actually manage to see it with an Overlord and trying to snipe the medevac. However, there's Marines, there's a Widow Mine. Probably want to be pretty careful with those mutas in that situation. Semper moving forward, though, even more, putting a lot of pressure here onto Caleb. Caleb's slightly out of position. He's trying to take his fourth. You can tell he's breaking down the rocks, killing the Marine out there, but Semper, he realizes that not the entire army is at the front, goes for it. Widow Mines have been planted. Oh, those are some huge hits!
Every single Baneling taken out by those 2 Widow Mines there.
And that
will be GG.
GG. The series is now tied 1-1. Those Widow Mine hits were incredible.
Oh, those sealed the deal. That was nail in the coffin right there.
I know, that did it. I mean, Caleb, it was looking pretty scary for him when Semper was attacking, but wow, those mines. Looks like our next map, though, is going to be on Laralac. This was Caleb's choice. I wonder if he's got some sort of special build for it, or if, again, we'll just kind of see a macro build.
I really have no clue. I was expecting some form of cheese that game, and, you know, Semper did sort of do it was not full-blown cheese, but it also was not quite standard.
Yeah.
I will be right back.
Okay. So, just a reminder, guys, this is the finals, so the winner of this will get 500 RSL points plus $20. Second place, though, second through 8th place also gets RSL points. However, second place gets $5. The other places do not. We are loading into our game now. Laralac Crest. It is a